Hello, this is part one of the lease case project, the Excel portion. And what I'm going to do is walk you through all the steps just to complete the Excel file. And I'm going to move pretty quickly, but you can pause and rewind. All right, so you start here with the lease info sheet, and all you need to do is follow this step one over here, which tells you to put your own unique number in here. I'm going to use these, but just to show you how this works. 07, so I was born in July 6007, putting my month in there, and then 2, 4, and 8. Okay, so and then everything else you need will change here. After I complete the project, I will circle back and talk about some of these calculations because these payment calculations through here and the lease payment is an important part of of knowing lease accounting. Okay, so I'm putting in 6 million and now I'm going to lease one. So this is lease payable amortization schedule, leased items, title, transfer. And actually that is not what I want to do. The first one should be no guaranteed residual value, lease one. So this is lease one. Okay, now it tells you select this cell and make it equal to the payment, which is calculated for you right over here. Okay, and then what you want to do is make all the payments equal to that. This last one has, for the lessee, these would be any payments related to the guaranteed residual value. And that's calculated for you. So this is LSE, lessee payment for guaranteed residual value. It's 0 in this case, but I want to put it in just so we know that we're supposed to determine whether or not there's a payment there every time. Lease payment, step 4, calculate the lease payable. Okay, so the reason we put these numbers in here first is that these are a timeline, a vertical timeline of cash flows. And now we can calculate the present value. I'm going to put a minus sign in front of there because I'm going to put pluses in the formula and the arguments. So minus makes that a positive number. Minus, minus, positive. Okay, now the rate is right over here. And even though it's the same, I'm going to continue to use the method of pointing to the terms or to the arguments. So the term here is 4 years. Obviously, we could point to it within the worksheet, but the payment amount is right here. And the FV, that final value, is the lease payment to the lessee, or the lessee must make, which in this case is 0. And then the type, we have annuities due, so that's this item here. And we have the present value. Now, to ballpark it, we could look at this. It's roughly 1.5 million a piece. That's 6 million. So that's discounted, so it should be less than 6 million. So it's looking okay. We're going to format this properly. Accounting. And the top row in a schedule has a dollar sign in it. Okay. Now, in my schedules, I put 2 January 1 dates. Technically, you're not supposed to do that, but when you're learning lease accounting, the first row is the amount capitalized, and the second row is going to be the recognition of the payment, of the first payment. So there's no interest expense, but every row for the amortization is the payment minus the interest, which in this case is 0. So these are what the steps are telling you to do now, is calculate the amortization formula, and then updating the balance is the prior balance less the amortization. And then what you do is you can just copy this, paste it all the way down, and voila. Of course, it's not working because I haven't done the interest expense yet. So the interest expense is going to equal the prior lease payable or lease liability, same thing, balance times the interest rate. Okay. Now this thing right here, this is an argument, a part of a formula. We have to give it a fixed reference because we're going to move the rows, and it would change to C456, which I guess might be okay, but we're going to make sure we stay in that row. All right, so now I'll copy these down, and then I'll just drag it all down to the bottom. Okay, and this is great because here's our last payment, and we're at 0. Just to tidy up a little bit, there's some digits past the decimal point, so I'm going to round it to 0, so no decimal points, and that way we get the accounting format here. All right, so that is lease 1, and I'm going to go on to lease 2, 3, and 4 in the next video. I don't want to make these videos too long, and we'll take it from there.